topical issues, and today we're going to talk about a supernova. Theoretically, people say that stars are born out of stardust. When stars die, they form a lot of dust, and this dust from several dead stars produce what we call a nova. And when this dust congregates because of gravity, with enough gravity and something near to star ignite like another bigger star exploding nearby, that vibration is taken into the mass and it can ignite a nuclear fission. And in a place where there was darkness, a star ignites, blowing out the outer masses, taking its own rotation, and you have light where there was no light, and planets form. That's what happens. So when a star has formed in that manner, it depends on the amount of fuel. If there's so much fuel and so much energy, they may end up being the fast burning stars, very hot, very big, but may not last as long as the moderate ones. So that is the formation of stars. And stars burn the fuel that was in them during their formation. As they burn the fuel, it reaches a time when the inner part becomes a bit cooler, and the pressure that the star was creating on the outside collapses. When this happens, if a star is around 30 times the size of the sun, something strange may happen. It may collapse and never come back again, but will leave a spiraling extension on the poles with a lot of reaction, a flow of elements, and it becomes something we call a black hole. Starts eating all the matter around it. But stars that are almost the size of the sun or smaller, and sometimes slightly bigger, most of them end up in a massive explosion. When the fuel is finished, it has eaten most of the fuel surrounding, maybe the planets or whatever that were around, it starts cooling. And then the matter bounces because of gravity. And it throws everything off, just like a spring does, exploding all the matter into space. Some leave a small burning part. Some leave a small core, but fast spinning that is spoiling everything, destroying matter. Anything that is there gets destroyed. They can't form. Or forming a zombie star, a small star but the matter has been thrown out into space. That explosion is so violent, it rarely happens because stars take a long time to die. And when it happens, it leaves a lot of light. Some shine brighter than a whole galaxy. So for stars, if a star is massive, or if the explosion is powerful, it might even spoil stars up to 25 light years away, blowing off their atmospheres so they become lifeless, destroying some in the process, destroying some of the neighboring stars. Such a type of explosion. That's how many stars end up dying. This is a time when a star tries to revive itself, because they say a star like ours is burning the hydrogen sequence. As it burns the hydrogen sequence, it forms helium and is forming some other matter within it. It is creating different materials within it, so that when a stuff burns, it's the way you remove the leaves from the onion. It forms from within different elements. So when it finishes the hydrogen sequence, it goes to the helium sequence. Sometimes it forms some other things, hydrocarbons and whatever. And when it finishes that, it goes to that sequence. That time it starts expanding, becoming bigger. And when it has finished most of the fuel, in most cases, because the pressure that is being exerted, because they say a star like the sun, when it gets to that point, it can extend up to the place where Jupiter is, becomes such a big star, covering everything. But when the fuel ends, the inside becomes a bit hollow, and when it becomes cool, it collapses on itself because of the gravity and leaves a white substance, because it collapses and then springs out, spreading all the matter into space. A very bright explosion. It's called a supernova. So a supernova explosion is a violent explosion that comes out of the unexpected collapse of matter on a star because of gravity, and the gases that were holding the pressure outside can no longer hold, so the gravity overcomes them. And a star ends that way. So there are those that end that way, supernova, and there are those that are so massive that when they end, they don't produce anything, hypernova. They simply, and there's darkness swallowing everything. So why am I talking about supernova? I'm talking about supernova because in God's dispensation, things are changing. We were to preach the gospel of the end of time, prepare everybody every minute. It started in the 19 something there, around 1914, before the First World War. The gospel of the end of the world. And people forgot that even when Jesus was asked, when will this end be in the Bible? He accepted, he told them the truth. I don't know. Only the Father knows. So let's not purport to know more than Jesus. Nobody knows when the end will be. But from the past histories, we have been realizing that there comes a time when God brings a new change, a new vision, a new approach to life. The Maya used to call it Bactum or Bactum, depending. Maybe what we are waiting for is a Bactum, a new change of our seeing from the religious point of view, from the political point of view, from the economic point of view, from the scientific point of view. An enlightenment, an exposure to reality, eating of the fruit, getting to know who we are, what we are, where we are, what is happening around us. How can we better the situations? How can we improve the situations? How can we live in tune with our environment, with nature? How can we progress the human race to something else that God has in his plan? This is a shocking time because those that have been in power, it always takes them by storm because they want things to be the way they are. They want the status quo. And whatever is happening, the things cannot hold. So I would say, like the novelist Chinua Achebe from Nigeria, he said, when the center cannot hold, things fall apart. So we are in a situation where we are entering a new phase in our thinking, a new phase in our religions, a new phase in our economies, a new phase in our thinking, an enlightenment in the way we see things. It's not going to take everybody the way they would want it. It may rub on some people the wrong way. To some people, it will be a supernova, like a supernova, a big explosion. You can't understand what is happening, and then you see things falling on you. Maybe you are the strongest or among the strongest military countries, strongest economic countries, strongest, and now things are not working as per the measures and the standards that were there. Maybe yours was economical mass or military mass or whatever. And things change. To some, it will uplift them in a manner that it will be like a supernova explosion. They won't also believe where they are reaching. It will be a shock. It's going to be a shock on either sides. Those who thought others were underdogs, finding them at the same level or slightly higher. Those who thought they were on the top, realizing that things change. It may not be the first time. We've heard of the Romans talking of Pax Romana, the heavenly Rome, the peaceful Rome. And then things went awry until they started saying the end has come. Never came. Because the end of that first Roman kingdom had come. And it happened. But they didn't see the things that were going to come later. And so some ends of certain things are coming to be, are beginning to be. And they are a shock to many people who are up the pedestal. And to some people who are lowly, they'll get a push so fast that they would wonder, is it really us? That is the change that you should envision. A change like no other change. A change that will make everything appear nonsensical. A change that will make you wonder, is this a dream? Is this what? A change that will not make sense at all. But a big change. So as we push on, let's be ready for unprecedented changes in many spheres. People try to fight change. Some try to run away from change. But the best thing to do is to take it a step at a time. When changes punch, take the punch. Move with it. When they punch, take the other punch. Move with it. You'll be okay. If you stick to the old or are surprised by the new, you will be shocked. Some will be shocked to a point that they may not be able to recover. And others will be shocked that the excitement that is coming there stops whatever they are headed for. So be calm. When changes come, take them one at a time. Because this is a time of enlightenment to most of us. People have been hearing of enlightenment. We have had figures. We've had the major ones. But we have had a lot of other enlightenments that have been suppressed. So you've never known. Enlightenment does not only come with one person. Enlightenment may come with a community. It may come with everybody in the community. Getting to know what was forbidden. Getting to understand what you are. Getting to know that you have forces within you that you'd never realized. or you had been dissuaded from knowing that you have. Knowing that you are a soul. Knowing that your son is a soul. That's why we call it solar. So the sun extending whatever God made in it to your planet, to you. That's why Jesus was saying, you are the temple, you are unique. You are not like any other person. You have got unique capabilities. And those capabilities are going to be opened individually. I may be a good noisemaker here and may not be good in other things. You may be a good footballer, you are not a good noisemaker. The others, they are comedians, they'll make you laugh. Even when they do their normal things, not even making comedy, you still laugh. Because we are unique. We are the temple. The soul in you is the one that determines with your faith in what will be. That's why in the Bible it's written, and Jesus says you will step on snakes and scorpions. No poison will kill you. You will heal the sick. And you will do greater things that even Jesus himself did. Yes, because the enlightenment at that time was slow. The enlightenment at that time was for a specific number of people. Now you are living in a world where it's almost virtually free. You can be able to access information, embrace information without suppression from the community. So you will be able to enhance your inner self, your outer self, into a performance that could never be enhanced before. This is the time. Be ready to embrace it. This is the time. Be ready to embrace the changes. Do not say they have come to finish us. Nobody is finishing you. Changes come. Maybe some countries that were used to oil, you'll find that oil is no longer a power because now people have got solar, they have got that, but there are materials they need from oil. Others may be able to extract those materials from other resources. You'll be surprised because human beings are very innovative. We are creative. That's why God created us. He's called our creator. But he gave us the power of creativity. We can also create. But he gave the planets the power of creativity too. So it's extended to us. And your powers are unique from my powers and from the other person's powers. That's why they say there is a common code of conduct for all of us, so that there is sanity within the community. But our performance levels are different, so you be taken or take yourself as a different soul, a different entities. Maximize what is in you. Maximize what your soul can do. Learn to relate with yourself. Learn to relate with God. Learn to relate with what's around you. And when you start seeing changes, do not be afraid. Changes must come. And when you embrace them, they'll be for the good of the earth, for the good of the society, for the good of mankind, for the security of other living things. Because we are hitting a realm of enlightenment. Get ready. Things are not going to be the same as they were. There are some people who would wish for the good old days, the good old past, because things have been rosy, they have been good. But again, you find the Bible also talks of cursed is the person who is always talking of the good old days. God is waiting to do a new thing. He is going to make paths in the wilderness. Yes, that is God. He's going to make rivers flow in the desert. That is the God we are talking about. He's saying be ready to embrace changes because he is going to do a new thing. With your enlightened you, my enlightened me, that enlightened us, things are going to be different. We are going to hit realms that people could not imagine. We've already started. Many are not realizing. But the system are going to change in a radical manner that they look crazy for most of us. But that is it. A new dispensation. Get ready to embrace it. Get ready to do not resist changes when they come. Embrace them. Most will be good for you. Good for the future and posterity of mankind and other living things. That is the message I'm getting to you. I don't know why I'm giving it to you now. But as I've been crafting this and crafting about the supernova, because you have to know that those are some of the fruits you have to know. Get to know what happens out there. Stars also die. They are born. And get to know that also changes are going to hit us like the supernova. Some upward, some downward, some in whatever manner, some from feeling bossy to just being common, and some from being so inferior that when they feel they get to the common point, they wonder what is happening. That is the world. Embrace the changes. That's my take for now.